I told my mother-in-law. She was the reason her son almost divorced me. My mother-in-law spent 6 years quietly trying to destroy my marriage. She thought she was being subtle, until I said one sentence at her birthday dinner that shut the entire room up. I didn't plan to say it at her birthday dinner. 30 people. A private room in a restaurant she loved. Laughter, wine glasses clinking. The kind of night that's supposed to look perfect from the outside. But after 6 years of watching my mother-in-law quietly poison my marriage, she did the one thing she always did, and something in me finally snapped into focus. Her name is Marilyn. My husband's name is Caleb, and Marilyn has always believed Caleb belonged to her first. The pattern started early. Year 2 of our marriage, Caleb and I had a fight about money. Normal married couple stuff. Budgets, stress, figuring things out. The next day, Caleb told me Marilyn had offered to help him open a backup account, just in case my spending got unpredictable. I laughed it off then. Year 3, I had a miscarriage. I asked for quiet, privacy, just space to breathe. That Saturday, Marilyn organized a family prayer gathering at our house. 15 people showed up. People hugging me, crying over me, whispering about God's plan. In my living room, in my grief. I stood there smiling like a mannequin because I didn't know what else to do. Caleb apologized afterward. He said she meant well. But the worst part came last year. Caleb and I hit a real wall. The kind where the house feels colder even with the heat on. We started couples therapy. Hard conversations. Brutally honest ones. We were trying. 7 months of work. And during those 7 months, Marilyn called him every single day, encouraging him to stay strong, telling him marriage was difficult. Then one day she said something Caleb finally admitted to me later. Some people just aren't meant to go the distance. She said that while her son was actively trying to save his marriage, we survived it somehow. Therapy helped. Caleb saw the pattern. He promised he would set boundaries. I believed him. But boundaries only work if the other person respects them. Marilyn never did. So at her birthday dinner, when she stood up to make her toast, I already knew what was coming. She smiled warmly at the room, talked about family, loyalty, strength. Then she turned to Caleb. I'm grateful every day that my son has stayed true to himself through everything life has thrown at him. Through everything life had thrown at him. Like I was a storm, he survived. The table went quiet for half a second. Caleb shifted beside me. His sister Lauren stared down at her plate. And something in me finally stopped trying to be polite. Later, while people were standing around talking, Marilyn approached me with that same gentle smile she always used. I hope you enjoyed tonight, she said. I'm so glad things are better between you and Caleb. She said it like she'd helped, like she'd been on our side the whole time. I looked at her and asked calmly, can I tell you something honestly? She smiled. Of course, that's what family is for. So I told her, quietly, clearly. For 6 years, every time Caleb and I tried to fix something between us, you stepped in and made sure it broke again. Her smile froze. I kept going. The prayer circle after my miscarriage? That wasn't support. That was a violation. A couple people nearby stopped talking. And telling your son some marriages aren't meant to last while we were in therapy? I leaned slightly closer. That wasn't concern. That was sabotage. Her face went completely still. Right then, Caleb walked over. What's going on? Marilyn's eyes filled instantly. She just attacked me at my own birthday dinner. Caleb looked at me. I didn't soften it. I told her she's the reason we almost didn't make it. Silence fell over that corner of the room. Marilyn shook her head like she couldn't believe it. I've only ever tried to protect my son, and that's when the sentence came out. The one that changed the room. I said it calmly enough that people had to lean in to hear it. You weren't protecting him. You were protecting your control. A few people actually stopped breathing. Then I added the line that finished it. The only threat to Caleb's marriage has always been the person who couldn't accept he grew up. You could feel the power shift in the room. Marilyn had no response. Just that frozen smile cracking at the edges. Caleb gently took my arm and guided me toward the other side of the room. He didn't argue. He didn't defend her. He just whispered quietly, I know. We left 20 minutes later. Marilyn hasn't called the house since. Caleb spoke to her once after that and came home unusually quiet. I didn't ask what was said. Some truths don't need retelling. But later that night, Lauren texted me. One sentence. Someone needed to say it. And the strange thing is, for the first time in 6 years, our marriage felt completely quiet. No interference. No whispering voice between us. Just two people finally standing on their own. But sometimes I still wonder something. Did I save my marriage that night? Or did I permanently destroy a family to do it? If someone spent years quietly sabotaging your marriage, would you expose them in front of everyone or keep the peace?